vet it? Can we do it without checking it beforehand? We don't have to vet it, right? I mean, I agree, you know, so we should look at it.
We have,
We already have an RFP out for with regards to development, so we're just extending on that.
Right,
it's the same contract
That we have.
We approved the proposal, which was for DC and for the water and wastewater rate review. The time issue is that if you're bringing the information back from the December 3rd meeting in conjunction with the DC information, then we need to have them prepared now. It's not that we can get it any time.
All right.
We're required to do DCs before the end of December.
get back. So I guess I would ask for the motion of this meeting where officially to start with, from the two-thirds vote to Councilor Russell, Councilor Scott. All in favor of that? That's carried. Okay, Councilor Russell.
we're opening up a can of worms for no reason whatsoever because we're in fantasy land, right? So maybe they'll be in, maybe they won't be in, they're not gonna be on, if we're gonna build sewers down there, it won't be for years anyway. Let's look at the users that we have now, how much it's gonna cost, and, or over the whole tax base. I say keep it down to 2 scenarios, nice and simple, so we know how much it's gonna be for the whole tax base, we know how much it's gonna be for the people who actually will come to sewage. I say keep zone 3 and 4 out until we get close to the time that we can deal with it.
The motion is for 3 different scenarios. Where
I actually agree with Martin's concern about 3 and 4 because we would be depending on, we're determining rates at this point, we're depending on those coming in the near future to make those rates legitimate and to be dependable rates. So, although I do think that there is some merit, at least considering whether we could do part and part, because the users are obviously benefiting on some level. And then, but then the price might be too high for them to manage alone. And that, because I don't think that the entire tax base wants to carry all the entire cost, because it is not in our policy to this point that anybody pays except the beneficiaries. So if we go to the opposite extreme and say that the entire tax base has to pay for this entire project, I think that's kind of going to extreme. But it's good to have a reference point of both ends, and then at least a recommendation of what could be a having to, give or take, depending on what the numerical results.
Whether we do 2 or whether we do 3, it doesn't make that much difference. There will be some difference, but if we don't have all the options, how do we know? Councilor Bond?
And I think to Councilor Underwood's point in terms of a can of worms, then you have to put in 1,800 users in zones 3 and 4, and they have to replace their septics. How much is that going to cost? And that going to go over the tax base, right? Well, if you're going to bring 3 and 4 now, and look at them paying for a septic or for a collection system they may not use for you.
This is for the plant.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So, yes, no, but I'm saying if you bring them in and make them pay now, then when they have to replace their septic systems, do they get to come back to this town and say, I paid for a plant, I don't use that, like release down on replacing my septic? I think it's capital person. I would say go to the 2 scenarios, keep it at that. It's already going to be a shifting policy if we do it. But another scenario we can look at is if people do want to use the Bank of Land and Shores and deposit money for future use, it's probably something we should look at from a security point.
Motion is to look for 3. I guess it's seconded that way, unless the mover or second or amended.
Can I make a friendly amendment to bring it down to?
Okay. Okay, is there a seconder for the amendment? Councilor Bond? Any questions on the amendment? Councilor Wire?
Is that one concern we're not going to defer that about? Still there.
Is that not what the third option was? Is the deferred amendment?
Well, I think we talked about putting in 1,800 people from zone 3 and 4 and seeing what the impact would be and then where the tax base is. If you want to specify